Hi, this is Stacy with Rustically Redeemed Custom Leather, and I wanted to come on here for a moment and just give a little bit of information that I remember having to learn by trial and error about some adhesives, about which kinds there are that are available to you and when you might use each one, what circumstances, and what's going to work best. And so these are things that you will want to experiment with and to see what works best for you, because everybody likes to work a little differently. But these are just some things that I've learned that took me a long time to learn, either from other people or from trial and error, and maybe this can save you a little bit of trial and error time. First thing that we've got is just an overview of what some of the adhesives are. We've got rubber cement, which is something that I don't use a lot of, but I do use it sometimes. This is more for when you want things to be a temporary bond. If you need to, say for example, glue a piece of veg tan to a piece of mat board to keep it from stretching and to hold it and to give it a little more depth when you tool, you might would want to use rubber cement, because this is something that is not permanent and you can peel it off pretty easily later. It might take a little effort. It's going to hold it on for what you need, but it's going to come off when you need it to come off as well. I've also used this for inlays and things like that, where you're not really looking for the strength that something has. You're not looking for two things to become one, essentially. You're just looking for something to hold together, or maybe something where you can, like on an inlay, you might want to kind of settle something down into the spot that you've cut out, or that sort of a thing. Rubber cement is great for that. Of course, you can get this at Walmart or the hardware store or Hobby Lobby, anywhere like that. You can find rubber cement, and it works great for multiple different types of surfaces for temporary bonds. The next one that I wanted to mention is contact cement. Now, I used to think that contact cement and rubber cement were the same thing, and they are absolutely not. Contact cement is meant to be a permanent bond between two things, where essentially you're making them into one substance, like two pieces of leather that you want to marry together basically and to become one piece that will not tear apart. And so there are different brands of this that you might have heard of. Barge is one of them. Weldwood is another one. I buy Weldwood at Lowe's because I can find it there pretty easily. I know that Maker's Leather Supply has got their own brand of contact cement that works great. And the question that I saw earlier about contact cement that I took a long time to try and figure the answer out for was about how to focus it and how to not make a disastrous mess out of it. Because if you're anything like me, you make a mess with things. I tend to make a ginormous mess whenever I try to use anything sticky, it seems, whether it be an adhesive spray or whether it be a contact cement or anything like that. And this contact cement, which most people get, and most of them are a liquid form. And so this liquid form, you see, is very liquidy because, of course, it's a liquid. And so liquids do what liquids do, and they are very hard, at least for people like me, to control. They work great. You can spread them out. You put them on both surfaces of what you're trying to put together. Put them on both surfaces. You let them get a little bit tacky, and then you put them together. And then once you have those together, you better have them in the right place, because you're not going to move it. It's going to stay right there. It's not going anywhere. And so the question I saw earlier, though, was about controlling it, because you can see if you try to use this, it's going everywhere right here. It's dripping, it's sliding around. I'll have it all on my hands for a long time. I'll have it on my bench. It'll be all over the place. And so for that reason, I discovered and I found Weldwood gel. Now, there might be other brands of this. I have not found another brand, but I do know that Weldwood makes the gel. I would do a search and see what other brands you might be able to find. I buy this at Lowe's. I usually get it a couple of cans at a time so that I have it on hand all the time whenever I might happen to need it. But this, as opposed to the liquid, is a gel. It's more of a solid type thing. And see, it comes out just like that, like a gel. And you can easily put that on surfaces. You use it the same way. You put it on both surfaces that you want to stick together. but it is great at staying in one place. You can focus it. You can use a small putty knife and you can just line it out exactly where you need it to be. It doesn't go all over the place. It stays in one place because it's not a liquid, and I love that about it. So I highly recommend the gel form. If you have not tried this or seen it, I would definitely give it a try. See what you like best. Some people prefer the liquid. They'll put it in like a dispenser type bottle or something like that, which works great. I just happen to really find this gel very, very helpful. Another way that you can adhere things, and these might be used for a permanent thing, but they're not necessarily meant for strength. This is just something more for like when you're sewing two pieces together and you want to hold them together while you're at the sewing machine so they don't slip and slide around. Thing that is a thing of beauty is double-sided tape. Oh my gosh, can I just say this will change your life. This will change your bag making life, absolutely. Maker's Leather Supply carries multiple different sizes of this. The one that I use the most is this really tiny little, I believe it's 1/4 inch, no, it's not 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, I think, tape. I use the 1/2 inch. I also get the other sizes too. This one I believe is it's probably a 3/4. Yeah, this one would be a 3/4 inch, and then I've also bought one that's larger, the 1 inch wide. And so this tape is life-changing. It's like any double-sided tape, but you would peel it off. If I can find the end of it, you peel it off. You use like scissors or a knife or something like that to cut it. You can rip it, but it doesn't rip that well. Do that, and then you go to stick it down on whatever surface you want to stick it on, and then you just peel the paper right off of it, and you're left with tape on whatever it is, and then you can easily put down the other thing you have. This stuff is not messy. You do want to make sure that you keep it well within your seams so that it doesn't show and you don't have sticky things whenever you're doing projects and things like that and you're sewing them together. But oh my gosh, this will change your leather life if you try the double-sided tape. This stuff is amazing. So Maker's Leather Supply has it. Everything they have is good, so that's a great thing to get. The other thing that you can use when you're sewing things together, sometimes it works just as well, depending on what you're sewing, depending on how big it is, depending on how many corners you have to go around, that sort of thing, are binder clips. I would suggest everybody get yourself a crap ton of these binder clips. They're just like what you use in the office or at your desk or whatever that you can put papers together with. They work great to hold leather together with, and these are fantastic. So you can get these at Walmart in the office supply aisle. You can order them off of Amazon, but get a few different sizes of many of these. You will not be sorry that you have them because they're very, very useful. They're useful too if you just want to hold things together for a little while. Maybe you want something to just kind of bond because you've glued it or whatever. You can put those on there. Another kind of clip that I use sometimes, in addition to the binder clips, I really don't even know what you call these, but they're these metal clips. I ordered them off of Amazon, I believe. And these I use for things like when I make my sandals and I want to hold long pieces of the sole together to make sure that that glue really bonds before I get them sewn. I'll use this. I will use these on there and have them all around the edges of my sandals. These work great for larger areas or for longer lengths that you want to hold together. So anyway, that's about it for now. I hope that this was helpful to you. If there's anything that you want to suggest or anything that you can think of that I didn't cover, please put it in the comments. And if you would like any other tips, if there's anything that you or just have a burning question about that maybe I could help with, please drop it in the comments, and I would love to make some more videos like this that might be helpful. I hope everybody has a great day. Hope you're doing great in your shop and getting those Christmas orders knocked out or started in my case. And everybody have a great day. Thanks.